And people still jumping on.
Good. All right, let's get started.
Yeah, let's get it started.
All right.
Still jumping on?
Yeah, people still jumping on.
Well, I can't help him if I'm not host or co-host. See if you can help him make me co-host so I can help him let people in.
Well, I don't think he has that functionality.
So give him 1 second.
Let's see. Sorry, guys. It's just that we have people still jumping on,
And I want to be able to add him
and
in.
we need to make sure that somebody else is co-host so that we can let those people in, because they're showing on Latino time.
Sergio.
What's up, everyone? Ooh, 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 ooh. Hey.
Dude, you're recording, dude.
Oh, sorry.
This guy.
Hello.
No, we can't get make co-host. You don't have the functionality. I don't know why.
Yeah, that's a good
Yeah.
plan.
All right. Well, dude, we can get started. There's two people in the waiting room still.
Yeah.
People need to show up on time.
All
Yeah.
right, let's go. Let's get started. It's good. 6:11.
Yeah.
I just gotta keep
Just
an
check
eye on
that
admin
everyone there or something.
And
on
more
Austin.
people?
More people are jumping in.
Can he use Felipe's or your laptop and then
That's what we're trying to do, but it's not letting us add another person, unfortunately. That's okay.
no, just
But,
like
you know, maybe, like-
physically swap
Yeah,
the
like-
laptops, right?
No.
Oh, I have the
No.
PowerPoint on this
Gotcha.
So
computer.
we're also doing it in a hotel room, and one of our computers. There's only like 2 computers that get access to this, so it's okay.
Let's just do it.
Okay.
Will this recorded be posted on Rat Race? I don't
It'll be on
know.
my YouTube.
It will be on Felipe's YouTube
So follow me.
for everybody to see. All right, dude, we just need to get started.
Yeah.
If they didn't join on time, sorry.
It's pretty sad.
No audio. I don't know what.
Patrick, you don't hear us? Yeah, he does. We were just talking.
Yeah, you guys are
Patrick's
good.
computer sucks.
Did
You
our
guys
audio
good?
sucks? Oh, we're good.
No,
You
I was
guys are
saying
good.
Patrick
You
sucks.
guys are good.
Okay, cool. Maybe it's just Patrick. Okay, cool, dude.
All right. Oh man, more people.
Let's start.
That's it. They're 15
Okay,
minutes
that's it,
late.
dude. Yeah, that's it. We're done.
No, keep adding them.
Just we can keep an eye on Austin when he jumps on. Mm.
Good.
All right, you guys see my screen? We're good? Yeah.
I can see it. There you go.
Yes, we
Awesome.
can see it.
Okay, cool. So we're gonna be talking about the power of credit. I was gonna say credit cards, and I messed up my bad. So first things first, this is what we're gonna talk about today. It's gonna be a little bit about me. Most of you guys know me. We're gonna talk about understanding credit factors, how to improve your credit score, how to increase your credit limit, how to remove credit inquiries. This is pretty big for those of you that are in real estate, or maybe you bought a car and you got your credit pulled like 10, 20 times. So this will help you remove those inquiries. How to get earnest money from credit cards. I personally did this myself. It was pretty cool because you want to use other people's money and you don't want to use your personal money, right? And then we have the special guest. All right, messed up there. So a little bit about me. I was born in a tiny town in Colombia. I was just there last month. I built my triplex there, and it was pretty cool to be able to go back to where I grew up and build something, right? And I helped a lot of people with employment, and my parents were helping me, and I was really excited because you have to zoom in like 5 times on the map once you get to Colombia to find this little town. It's super tiny. There is no traffic lights. There's only stop signs, and everyone knows each other. And if they don't know you, they'll just ask you who your parents are, and they'll also ask you or your last name, and that's it. Then at the age of 13, I came to Sacramento, California. I came by myself. My parents are still in Colombia to this date. And I came to my aunt and my uncle's house when I was 13. I was really happy that they were able to give me the opportunity to be here. I didn't know how to speak English. I went to high school, started in 9th grade, and it was hard just because everything was brand new. Like I said, I came from a little tiny town with no traffic lights to capital city of California. And I remember like getting in the freeway going like 65 miles per hour, which is 100 kilometers. It was just like, this is really cool. And then we got to my aunt and my uncle's house and they opened the garage with a clicker. And I was like, this is really cool. Like, I like it already. And then my first day in school was hard because I'm pretty short and a lot of people were taller than me. And I saw these guys with like the purple hair, the spiky hair, and I was just intimidated. I remember going back to my aunt's house and I cried because I was by myself. I didn't have my parents. I didn't have my grandma. But yeah, then at the age of 23, I enlisted in the Air Force Reserve. It's been about 8 years. And I like it a lot just because I enjoy planes. I like to be around big planes, especially the cargo planes where you fit a plane inside a plane. And I think it's amazing to be part of the best Air Force in the world. And now I'm a full-time e-commerce. This is just a picture of me. I was in Thailand. And the beautiful thing about e-commerce is that you're able to work anywhere in the world. Some of you guys know. And yeah, that's what's about me. Now we're gonna get into understanding credit factors. Okay, most people are not familiar with credit because they don't teach us credit in high school, right? This should be a whole class because it's huge. When you graduate from high school, you'll most likely start getting offers for credit cards, right? And then those offers, if you take one of those, you're gonna get more offers. And most people don't know and they get in debt. They start buying things that they cannot afford. And they eventually end up having late payments or collections, and they might even file bankruptcy because they were not educated on credit, right? So just having a basic understanding of how credit works is huge, and that's what we're gonna go over today. So the biggest one is payment history, and I'll break this down. Okay, how many accounts you have, like credit utilization, new credit, the length of credit, and what kind of credit you have. Okay, this is with the FICO score. All right, so payment history. This is 35% of your credit score. It varies from the low 500s to 820. And 100% on-time payment history is a good sign for lenders to let you borrow money. So let's say you're trying to buy a house, trying to buy a car, but you have late payments, they'll probably approve you at a really high interest rate because it's a high risk to take you on that loan, right? They don't want to give you money and then you're late. Even one late payment can hurt your credit health, your credit score. A single 30 or 60-day payment miss can hurt you. And then a 90-day payment can really like disqualify you from certain loans. All right, after 90 days, that payment becomes a charge off and then you get sent to collections. What most people don't know is that collections are actually a company owned by someone. So they buy your debt. So they don't really have all that information that they need to be calling you asking for money. So for example, let's say you owe $10,000, right? Then it passed 90 days. So the collection company is gonna buy this debt for $5,000. And they're gonna start calling you and they're gonna start saying, hey, you owe us 10,000, but we're gonna make you a deal, just pay us 8,000 because they wanna profit $3,000, right? The thing is that most of these collection companies, they're not even supposed to be asking you for this money because they don't have like your full social. They don't have your birthday. So that's why most of the time they call you and they say, hi, may I speak to Patrick? Yeah, this is Carlos from the collection agency and I'm calling regarding the debt that you have with Capital One. To verify your identity, may I get your social security and birthday, right? So they don't have it. They're not gonna verify it, but they wanna get it. So that's why they ask you for your social security number and then for your birthday so that they can actually collect this debt from you. But if you don't give out that info, they cannot legally collect the money from you. And that's why you can start disputing these charges and you can get this removed. So payment history, 35%. Then we got amounts of, which is a credit utilization, is 30% of your credit score. the goal is to be under 30, but if you are under 10%, it's even better, right? Most banks, they usually share the same info to the credit bureaus on the same day of the month. So each month, let's just say on the 15th of each month, they're gonna send how much you owe to the credit bureaus so that you can make these payments. But here's the great tip. You need to pay your credit cards 2 weeks before the actual due date. So on your due date, the bank is gonna take a screenshot on how much you owe. Then that screenshot is gonna send over to the bureaus. So the credit cards are gonna take a screenshot of how much you owe. It gets sent over to the bureaus, right? So even if you make your payments on time, you're technically late because that screenshot was already sent to the bureaus. So a great tip is to pay your credit cards 2 weeks before the due date. That way, when these companies take a screenshot, it already shows a balance of 0 or a balance under 30% or a balance under 10%. All right. So that's 30%. 15% is your credit history. So FICO score takes into account how long your credit card's account has been established for, including the oldest one to the newest one. For example, if you have one 10-year-old credit card and you open up a new one, now your credit history is gonna be 5 years because they take the average of all of your credit cards. So if you're thinking about maybe opening credit cards, it could be a good idea to open up a couple at the same time. It is gonna hurt your credit at that moment, but in the long run, it's gonna help you because you're not gonna get that credit inquiry. You're not gonna get the average of your age on the credit cards. And those credit inquiries, they last up to 2 years in your score. So if you're trying to buy a car, trying to buy a house, they also look at how many inquiries you have, because each inquiry means that you're trying to establish a new line of credit, okay? Then we have new credit, which is 10%. And this is basically how long your account has been open. And for the more that you have open, the credit risk it is, because they're like, man, this guy is trying to maybe get a lot of credit and he's gonna do something bad, or he's just not responsible, he's got late payments. And then we have the credit mix, which is another 10%, and that includes credit cards, bank loans, maybe lines of credits, house loans, and the big mortgage loans. The bigger mix that you have, then that will help you with your credit score. Also, if you have a car loan, let's say for 60 months, right, which is 5 years, and you pay off that car loan, once you pay it off, you might get hurt with the credit score because now you don't have the credit line anymore, right? You don't have the credit history of those past 5 years that you have been making payments. So it might not be a good idea to, if you have extra money, to pay off your entire car, because your score is gonna drop down on the credit history, right? It is a good idea to pay it off because you don't have the debt. But if you have been making payments consistently for the past 4 years and 10 months, you don't have to worry about that. All right. So how to improve credit score? This is really cool. I enjoy talking about this. All right. Payment history. What I personally do is that I have all my credit cards due on the same date. Okay. So let's just say, for example, that you guys get paid on the 15th of the month and on the 1st of the month. So you know you're gonna get paid that time each month. What I would recommend is to call all the credit card companies and say, I would like to switch my due date to the 10th of the month, right? Because you get paid on the 1st. So you get paid on the 1st, let's say you pay rent, then you pay your credit cards. And after you pay those credit cards, you know, you're gonna pay them a week prior, maybe 2 weeks prior, so that when it's due, it's gonna show a balance of 0. If you guys maybe have too many credit cards, you can split them. So let's say you have 4 credit cards. So you can make 2 credit cards due on the 10th and the other 2 credit cards be due on the 25th of each month. So you already know when to make these payments and you don't have to worry about maybe being late. Okay. Credit card utilization. We want to be under 10%, right? But what if you can be under 10%? What if you don't have extra money to be under the 10% of utilization? Well, there's a beautiful thing called AUs, which means authorized users. right? When you are an authorized user of someone else's credit card, the credit availability and their payment history transfers to you. Okay, so let's say Luis, he's got perfect credit and he's got a 10-year-old credit card with 100% payment history, and he trusts me enough to add me on as an authorized user. Now, that credit limit that he got and those months or years of history and 100% payments are gonna transfer to me too. Okay, so example, if I only have $10,000 worth of credit limit and I owe 2,000, I'm already at 20% utilization. But then Luis adds me on as an authorized user on his $10,000 credit card. Now I have $20,000 of credit utilization, which brings down my percentage to 10% because I owe 2,000. Not only that, but it also helps you getting the payment history and the age of those accounts. And you guys, if you need help, you should talk to maybe a close friend or a family member that can help you with this. All right. Derogatory marks. These are the late payments, the collections, the tax liens. They can stay in your report from 7 to 10 years. So this can really, really affect you. A lot of times we go through hard times and we can't make payments on times. And if that happens, it happened to me one time because I forgot to pay my credit card. Once you figure it out that you're late, you just call the credit card company and you tell them, hey, I really thought that this credit card payment was on auto pay and it wasn't. Is there a way you can remove that late payment from my account? If you haven't done it before, they will most likely remove it. You can do it like 2-3 times a year. So every time you're late, call the credit card, get that late payment removed from your history. And also they charge a $35 late payment fee. You can get that $35 payment fee waived if that happens.
Is there anybody in the waiting room?
Check the waiting room real quick.
Check in the waiting room.
Just in case for the late people.
Now we're good.
We're good.
Yeah. I've been adding them.
Oh, okay, cool.
Okay, cool. With these late payments, collections, and tax liens, since the debt collectors need to prove that they have your info, you should dispute anything that is off. Like I was saying before, they buy this debt. They don't own it. They buy it from someone else at like half off or a quarter of the price. And then they try to call you all the time so that you can make these payments. But you guys need to know that they don't have all the info that they need to be calling you and trying to sue you. That's why you can dispute these late payments, charge-offs, tax liens with letters. All you gotta do is send the letter to the credit bureaus and they can remove that from you. All right, credit age. Again, let's just say I'm an 18-year-old kid. I don't have any credit. How can I improve my credit? Or if you're 20, 25, 30, and you don't have enough credit, get someone to add you as an authorized user. You automatically get their age, their credit age. I'm an 18-year-old, no credit, but if my parents are not here, but let's say my best friend adds me on his credit card and he's been having a credit card for 10 years. Now I'm an 18-year-old kid with 10 years of credit age, 10 years of perfect payment history. So that's a way to trick the credit age to the bureaus, being an authorized user. All right, how to increase credit limit? I get this question a lot too. So in order to increase credit limit, there's a couple of options. You can call all the credit companies and request for a limit increase. Just say that you're planning to make a high amount purchases and you need that credit. You can make those phone calls all at once, like take one day out of the month and do this. And you can also do this every 90 days. So every 3 months, you can call the credit card companies and ask for a limit increase. If they say no, because maybe you don't use it enough, then there's the second option. So you're gonna focus on one credit card for the next 3 months. Put all of the other credit cards in your drawer and just keep one in your wallet and make all the charges on that card. That's gonna increase your utilization and then you're gonna request the limit increase, right? So again, let's just say I have 5 credit cards. Well, I'm gonna put 4 of those away. I'm gonna keep 1, and that one specific credit card, I'm gonna be using it for gas, for food, for just, go out and have fun. And because you're using it so much, when you call the bank and ask for a credit increase, they're gonna see that you have a lot of utilization, and they're gonna be like, yeah, Patrick is using a lot of credit. I'm gonna increase his limit so that he spends more, because sadly, they want us to get in debt, right? They want us to make payments on interest rates. So we wanna make sure that once we use those 3 months, we use it a lot, we call the bank, we ask for the increase. Once we ask for the increase, put that credit card away and take out your second credit card. And then you can do that again. Again, make sure that you pay it 10 days before the due date. All right, authorized users. I just talk about authorized users, and this is probably the easiest way for your credit score to go up. If you're like 650 and you're trying to get to like 670, 700, look around and ask people that you trust and that they trust you to be added as an authorized user. And you can tell them the following thing. You say, hey, I'm trying to increase my limit. Let's just say, Carlos, dude, I'm trying to buy a car, but I have a 650 and they're trying to give me a 9.99 interest rate. If I'm at 720, I can get a 4.99. So you're dropping your interest rate by 6 points, right? You're saving hundreds, thousands of dollars on that interest rate. And you can tell Carlos, you can add me on, but I don't need the credit card. Like, don't give me a credit card. So you have the peace of mind that I'm not messing with your credit, that I'm not touching your available credit, right? That I'm not gonna be making purchases on your behalf. And if they trust you enough, they might be able to give you a card, but just for fun things, right?
Christian, remember to say that you're not a CPA or a lawyer.
Yes, thank you,
Say
Felipe. Thank you, Diego. I am not a CPA. I cannot give you legal advice. I am not an attorney. Or a lawyer. This is just the information that I have learned the past several years. This info is what I have been using as well. And I actually get paid to use credit cards. And I'm gonna be giving out a few hacks that you can do as well. All right, so now I'm gonna talk about how to remove those credit inquiries and how to get earnest money for those of you that are trying to buy a investment property or some type of real estate. You can get money from credit cards. Okay, so how to remove credit inquiries. Like I said earlier, these bureaus are owned by a company. Let's just say they're privately owned. Felipe, Diego, and I, we own TransUnion, right? We are the owners of this company. So there is a number you can call, and you cannot find this on Google. If you were to Google this number or like Google the number for the bureau, you cannot find it. This is for the Experian. I was gonna give out all 3 numbers, and then Felipe got mad. He's like, dude, why? You're giving out
This guy.
Yeah, he never wants me to give out all the secrets, but I like to. All right, so this is the Experian number. If you guys Google Experian, this number is not gonna pop up. So all you have to do, let's say you apply for a house loan, your credit got rammed by 3 different lenders. Now you have 3 inquiries. Or you went to a dealership and you tried to buy a car, and then you found out that your credit got ran by 6 different banks, and you only got one approval, or you only took 1 loan, right? So you have all these different inquiries. All you have to do is call this number by Experian. This is the shortcut. You can go the long way, but this is the shortcut. You're gonna enter your social, then you're gonna press 2, then 1, then 2, then 3, right? And then you're gonna ask to speak to the fraud department. The reason why you wanna do this is because they're gonna try not to help you. They're gonna say, no, you can't. You cannot do this. You need to call the company that you got the loan or the inquiry from. But you're gonna call, you're gonna ask to get the inquiry removed personally. I know Felipe did this. I know Diego did this. I think Thiago did this as well. couple of people on this call personally did this, and they were able to get those inquiries removed. So you got pre-approved from 5 different lenders, but you only got 1 loan. Those 4 inquiries, you can get them removed. Just call the bank and say, hey, I applied for a house loan, for a mortgage loan, and I wasn't aware that my credit was ran by 4 other companies. And I know a lot of times they ask you to sign approving that you are going to get this inquiry, but the bureaus don't know that because they're privately owned, right? And they don't have all that paperwork. So you just tell them that, no, I didn't authorize this credit inquiry. I need you to remove it. And in less than 24 hours, you're going to get those inquiries removed. Pretty cool. I didn't know that until like 2-3 years ago. And Felipe and Diego didn't know that. When we were eating at Denny's, I think one time in Florida, and I brought up that to Diego, and he's like, dude, can you talk about that in our mastermind? And I did. That's pretty cool. All right. Now I'm going to talk about how to get earnest money from credit cards. Earnest money, is the money that you need to put down, not as a down payment, but you need to do the deposit for a house. So you can actually do this from credit cards and not your own money. So what you have to do is a little trick that I was showing Blackburn earlier. So you're able to use the credit card and go to a grocery store, buy a debit card, and then buy a money order. So that money order is cash, right? So with that cash, you can literally just put it in your bank, then write the check or get the money order, what it's called? The cashier check. You get the cashier check made to the title company, and now you're using the credit card's money. And let's just say you use a 0% interest rate credit card and you pull out $3,000. Now you have $3,000 of 0 interest rate for 12 months or for 18 months. Okay. Then if you minimum payment.
But make sure that when you're doing this, that you have less than 10% or something utilization in your credit card, so that when you're doing this with the loan process and all that stuff, it doesn't hurt you with the lender. So you're good. That's important.
Yeah. So you guys know Diego, he sold 56 houses last year.
Yeah.
And he's got like, I don't know how many under contract, but yeah, so 24 houses in the first 2 months under contract. Amazing. Cool. Yeah. So those are a couple of tricks that you guys can use. And let me just go over the question. Sorry. This is a question for you, Diego or Felipe. Is the lender going to ask where the money came from the credit card?
Not for the down payment.
Not for the earnest money. Oh, Sebastian said he's a banker, and everything that I say is true.
Yeah, and yeah, so that's a good question, and that's why if you already maxed out, and they already pull your credit, and you're right there in getting a lower interest rate, or you're maxed out in your credit cards to that 25% or 10% that is ideal, don't do this. If you have a lot of access to potential access to your credit, then definitely do this if it's not going to hurt your DTI. So keep that in mind.
Yeah.
That was the word.
So yeah, you do have to do the inquiry removal for each agency, for each bureau. So it's not like you call Experian and you're going to delete them all. You need to call Experian, TransUnion, Equifax, all 3 of them. Okay. Where do you purchase the cashier's check? Yeah, I use Walmart, and you can also try any grocery stores. Doesn't necessarily have to be Walmart, but Walmart is the cheapest one. Can you find those numbers on Google? No, you can't find those numbers on Google because, you can ask to be transferred after, maybe 4 or 5 reps. They'll transfer you to this department, but you're not going to find the direct number on Google. Yes, buy money order with a credit card. I know this is pretty cool info. Okay, so I thought this was pretty normal until I talked to Felipe and Diego, and they were like, dude, this is not normal. You need to share this info with everyone. Okay, cool. All right, so I'm gonna check to see if my guest speaker is on the call, and I'm gonna bring him on. In the meantime, you guys feel free to unmute yourself and ask any questions. Oh, before I get to that, if you guys need help with any type of credit removal, late payments, charge-offs, or any type of increase that you want to get removed, we own a credit repair company and we're able to help you. Felipe and Diego are working on that discount code for that.
Say it'll be $100 off.
He's saying it's gonna be
10% off.
it's gonna be 10% off whatever services you guys get.
Ask them real quick if they have any questions about credit that we can, what can we do with the credit?
Do you guys have any questions related to credit repair?
Those questions regarding credit.
Will the removal work for hard pools? Yes. So Daniel, it will work for hard pools. It works for the credit pool that the bureaus do from your credit. So it works for that. Also, I forgot to mention, when you guys call the credit companies to request a limit increase, make sure that they don't run a hard pool on your credit. If they do run a hard pull, don't do it because it's going to affect you, right? It's going to be a new inquiry and you don't need that. And let's just say that you do want to get a higher limit and you don't care about the inquiry, then don't get the increase. Get a new credit card because most likely the new credit card is going to have a higher limit than the increase that you're going to ask for. So that's just a quick tip.
Is he in the waiting room?
Yeah.
He's gonna join soon.
So
Yeah.
someone is asking if they ask you if it's a fraud inquiry. Yeah, just say that it is. And I mean, they don't have a way to prove you wrong. Okay, cool. So Austin is on the call. I'm super excited to have him on. And he's gonna be sharing a lot of valuable information. He's been doing credit for the past 11 years, if not more. And like I said before, I had to pay big money in order to meet this guy. And since I met him, my life has changed a lot. You know, it's all about networking. And he is the expert here. So I want to bring him on. His name is
How much did you pay to
10,000.
10,000?
Yeah, I'm gonna bring on Austin Nelson. He is on the call and the floor is yours, Austin.
Thanks, Christian. Can you hear me?
Loud and clear.
Okay, perfect. Just first, I'll start off by saying a little bit of background about myself. When they asked me to, Christian asked me to speak, kind of about different hacks and everything. Like, there's obviously a ton of different hacks. I'm gonna go over a couple today, and then kind of how credit basically runs my life. It makes my everyday decisions. So just a little bit of background about myself. I got into credit back in like 2008. Basically a broke college kid, needed a way to source income or access to capital for, I was trading stock options. So I got into that. I wasn't really into the credit thing. Started to find out, you know, you need money to actually trade stocks. So went in and basically found out that credit's the way to do that. So I read as much as possible. I was in message boards, forums, and everything you could think of, and just kind of found my way around, started getting my first credit cards. And then like within the first two years or so, I racked up about 40 credit cards, which is kind of unheard of. In that time of speed, I was just kind of, you know, stockpiled them on and learned really fast. And so that whole beginning stage really led to where I am now, and just constantly learning because there's so much information out there. So every day is like a hustle to learn more information. So that's kind of my background with the credit. But as far as like how it actually runs my life, um, I call like when I'm teaching about credit, it's really the core of whether you're an investor, entrepreneur, whether you need access to capital. If you have a good score and a good foundation with accounts and a full file, you'll have access to more real estate deals, lines of credit, loans, whether you're doing just for yourself, your auto loans, whatever your use case is, it's always something that you can use constantly. And me right now, I'm at the point where I only use my personal credit as stuff for business. So I'm only tapping in as a personal guarantor is what they call it, is when you have your business and then somebody that you personally guarantee the loan. That's all I'm using mine now for. And I just constantly tap into that, and then it reports to business credit, which is a whole different topic. But that's once you get to that point, you can just keep tapping into different banks, and then as money flows through, you have more opportunities, and then the whole foundation starts out with that 700 credit score that everybody shoots for. So yeah, basically the things I'm using credit for right now. Like I said, I really don't use it for personal use. I run multiple businesses. Like I'm using it. I'm a stock options trader. So that's what I'm using it mostly for. I have a crypto portfolio, real estate, business. I use business credit cards at 0%. And then I convert those over to cash for real estate deals or stock options. I have a 12-car rental fleet. So I use business credit to access, I go business auto loans under my business, but I use my personal credit to guarantee the loan. And then I rent those out to like Uber and Lyft drivers and all that. So that's a way to make money with credit. That's important. I use it for business credit. Me personally, Christian asked me to tell like how many credit cards I have. I really lost count about 2 years ago. And at that point I had a little over 250 credit cards, which is kind of insane. When I tell that to people, they're kind of shocked, but that's between business cards. A lot of my credit cards are business. And I know as of this point, I know I have over 300 different credit cards. And a lot of those are business credit, which again is like a different topic, but that's a huge thing too. But the foundation is definitely built with your personal credit. And the next part he wanted me to share with you guys is a couple hacks. So if you guys have, take down some notes, this is a good little hack, especially for you guys that are just starting out in credit. I get asked this a lot. And let's say you're going into credit and maybe you're fresh out of college. You don't really know where to start, or maybe you're in high school, or maybe you're new to the country and you're just getting your social. This is like one of the biggest questions, like where do you start? How do you get your first credit card? All that stuff. So like the first one I always tell people is establish bank accounts, right? So you want to establish a community bank and a big bank. It was what I tell people. So once you have that established, then you have money flowing in. It's easier to get a credit card that way. But in the meantime, when you're doing that, there's such things as like shared secured cards or shared secured loans. Basically, when you're putting money down and you're securing your credit card, and then that payment history is reported every month. So that starts building your credit. So your first goal when building credit should be get to 3 accounts, because that three accounts reporting to your credit is when you can start applying for not business loans, but home loans. You can start being a candidate for auto loans. They're really looking for at least 3 accounts. So that's a big number. One of the tricks I was going to go over kind of is like the next phase of that. Let's say you have those accounts now, and you're like starting getting obsessed with credit, and you want more and more access to capital, credit cards, all that. A big thing you can do, I'll say the website, it's called optoutprescreen.com. So OPTOUT prescreen.com. We could probably put it in the notes or something, but you go there. If you want to receive offers, go there and opt in. And so what that does is it works with Experian, TransUnion, Equifax, and Innovis. And then that's basically, you're essentially going to show your public record when you're opting into that. And so when you go opt in, you're basically accepting like credit card offers. So if you ever notice, like you get credit card offers in the mail, you're probably already opted into that. Some people will opt out because they don't want those offers to come in the mail. But if you've also noticed, sometimes people get those pre-approved offers in the mail. It's more rare, or pre-qualified. And that's all based upon that opt-in or opt-out. So once you're opted in, you'll get all those offers. A way to actually manually do this yourself and not wait for stuff in the mail is after you go over to optoutprescreen.com, you want to go on your, make sure you're on your computer. A lot of people like disable pop-up blockers. You're going to actually, well, not disable, they enable them. So they're trying to get rid of the pop-ups, right? So before you do this, you actually want to disable them so you can receive those pop-up blockers. Once you do that, you're going to go over, this is the first trick. It's called the shopping cart trick. So you're pre-screened, you disable the pop-up blockers. Now what we're going to do is we're going to get a credit card without a hard pull. So Christian was talking about a hard pull earlier. So it goes to your credit, and that's going to show up on your credit. A soft pull, which people get confused. If you're ever done an auto loan or anything like that, a lot of people don't know the difference. But a soft pull doesn't show up to lenders on your credit report. It's really in a different section. That's not going to hurt your credit at all. So you're essentially this method right here. You can get a credit card without ever doing a hard pull. So you wouldn't have to go call in and try to get that inquiry removed. So you go in, you go again, opt out, pre-screen, disable pop-up blockers. Then there's the main one that does this is Community Bank. And they have like a list of cards that you can get. You're not going to want these if you have a ton of cards, but some of the cards are actually pretty good. Like I'll give you one example, since this has been in the news lately, that's on there is GameStop. So GameStop has a credit card. They've been, heavy with all the craziness with the stocks and everything, but they have a credit card, Victoria's Secret, and a number of different like local companies have their own credit card, and the bank behind them is Community. And so what you do is you go into the membership site and you actually sign up as a membership, and exactly how it shows on your credit report. So you want to do the exact address, exact phone number, everything has to match up. And so when everything matches up, and basically they do a soft pull, when that happens, you'll probably get a little pop-up that says, congratulations, you're pre-approved for this credit card. And you didn't do anything. All you did was just give your information, but they did a soft pull in the background. And so you accept it, you get the credit card without ever a hard pull on your credit. So that's a cool little trick. They have a bunch of different cards that it won't happen for everybody because it has to populate, and you have to be approved on a soft pull. But that's an awesome little trick that I've taught clients in the past, and I know a ton of people have used it and been successful with it. Is there questions or something I need to answer?
Yeah, there's a question. Blackburn is asking, what can he do if he already have a 800 credit score?
Yeah, that is a loaded question to answer. You could do unlimited things. So like really anything above 720 and an established file, like when I say established file, like it's not easy, but it's easier to get higher scores when you don't have a lot of credit, because once you do get that credit, there's only a couple counts to go off of. So you can get up to 700 relatively quick, just keep your balances low. So with the 800, the most important thing with the 800 score than just the score is like the meat and potatoes of the credit score, which is all the accounts. So you want to have an installment account, which is auto loan, unsecured accounts, which is credit cards, mortgage, all that stuff meets like the whole package of credit score. Once you have all that, literally, like in my situation, I just focus on obtaining business credit and business loans. And I just keep going back to my personal score and go and acquire more loans. So that's, if you have an 800 score, that's would be my recommendation to you. Like, especially if you're an investor and entrepreneur, that's would be the best route. Is there another question? Let me see.
Awesome. Yeah. At what age can you start applying for credit cards?
Age, it's supposed to be what, 18, I believe, unless you have a cosign. I don't even know how that works anymore. I know before it was 18.
Okay. Daniel is he's saying that he's trying to pull money from credit cards, but he already has 2 hard pulls, and he's asking how he can proceed pulling out money from credit cards with 2 hard pulls. Just keep applying.
Oh, yeah, that shouldn't be. If you're trying to pull money off a credit card, is that what it says? More pull.
Yeah.
From a credit card. Yeah. So the hard pulls won't matter if you're trying to pull money off a credit card. If you're pulling money off a credit card, they're not going to do another hard pull with that. So they're not going to be looking at your credit again. If you're trying to obtain more loans or more credit cards and you have those 2 pulls and they're recent, the banks are going to see that, and they're less likely to give you another loan because, you know, to them, you're credit hungry.
Okay, cool. Luis is asking how to get free Starbucks.
I can't give away all that
Right?
hack.
I know, right?
Yeah,
So you guys know, he's got a close friends, and to be in his mastermind it's a lot of money, but it's totally worth it.
Yeah, the little hacks like that. I do like little hacks. Like Christian has hack, like stuff like that. Doing credit a long time. Like everybody wants like free stuff, and like I get free hotels and free Starbucks almost on a daily basis. So like that stuff, the foundation of, again, is all from credit, knowledge of credit and using credit.
That's right. I have someone saying that they apply for new credit cards, but they only get a 1,000 to 2,000 credit limit. Is there a way to get a higher credit limit when you first apply?
Yeah. So if you're starting out, foundation wise, like their lenders lend on based upon, I tell everybody, based upon equivalence. So if you have no history, there's nothing to go off of. So you're going to start off with lower limits. The only way to kind of bypass that is like secured accounts. Let's say you do like, I said, like a secured loan. They call it like a shared secured loan too. You could do it like a credit union. You can, let's say you're sitting on some cash, you can go in and have create a shared secured loan for, I've done one for 30,000. So like you put it in there, and then that $30,000 reports, and it's essentially you're getting, if it's a shared secured certificate or loan, you're getting that money right back. So it's what essentially it is kind of like a fake loan just for credit reporting, and you're paying interest on it. So that's one way to kind of bypass it, or shared secured credit cards. And then your next cards, they're going to lend and see that you have that higher limit. And so once you have that history, you know, it's definitely there's a waiting period if you're starting out. But getting those higher limits, you gotta have equivalent lines with something else.
Gotcha. How much is your close friends?
It's for all the access, like lifetime is $1,500 now, but anybody on this call wants it, I could do the $1,200 price, but I just had it at.
Cool. Thank you. How many new business credit cards can you apply for without affecting your credit score?
Okay, so with business credit cards, you're like most everything I do, and Christian does it too. Like when you're using it for business credit, they're going to use it as a personal guarantor. which is I'm using it personally. Like if my business goes under, like it's me liable, right? So that's going to still, when you do it, it's going to go to your personal credit, the hard pull. But Christian gave you guys a little hack earlier. So like something like that, which especially with business credit, which is the cool thing about business credit is if you do it right, it reports to business credit, the loan does, and stays off your personal credit. So if you're doing the hard pull and then get it removed, and what I do, I get them removed and then I go get more credit cards. So that's why I have over 300 cards or whatever, because I keep doing that over and over and over. And I have a ton of relationships with banks and all that. So you can just keep going to different banks and accessing more capital. And if you have a profitable business, it just makes sense.
Gotcha. One more question. Can you talk a little bit about authorized users? I guess there is some confusion on maybe the age limits. Can you add your kid as an authorized user?
Yeah. So you can technically add, your kid onto authorized user. I get asked this question a lot too, and I've done it myself in the past. Is actually add an AU. So like back, I think I did this when I was about 25. I added a 40-year-old credit AU onto my file. Well, I'm only 25 years old, so how do I have a 40-year-old card? Like, yeah, that's still possible because it's their card. You're just accessing. You're an authorized user, so you have that history, which helps you a lot because that's gonna, all that 40 years of payment is gonna show up on your credit report. So you access all that, and a big part of credit is your average age of accounts. And so that when you have that 40-year-old account, you have just a 1 year, like it's gonna split the difference for your average age.
Right. Awesome. Hey, Austin, thank you so much. And just so you guys know, we are lucky enough to have Austin in my creditwipe.com team. So like he said, he's been doing this for 11 years. So he knows all the ins and outs of this industry. And he is part of my creditwipe.com team. So whenever you guys need help with any type of credit situation, we're all going to be working on it, but we have the expert here and he's going to be able to solve those issues.
Yeah, I'll say one more thing. And just everybody on the call, obviously, thanks for coming out. But I just want to say, you guys are in great hands. Felipe, Christian, Diego, like if you guys have worked with them before, these guys I don't work with a lot of people, but people I do are very selective, and these are, lights out, solid people. So you guys are in great hands with them.
Yeah, it's really hard to get Austin to reply to you. He's got 921 messages unread on his phone. So yeah, we were lucky enough to have him on the call today, and lucky enough to be part of my Credit Wipe team. Luis is asking if he decides to join your close friends, that he gets access to the past post from maybe crypto and all these close friend hacks that you have.
Yeah, you would get access to everything for the life of it. Yep, all the past, everything.
Awesome. So again, everyone, this was perfectly an hour-long Zoom call, which is pretty hard to do. We did it in an hour, and everyone who needs help with their credit score, if you are on this call, you get 10% off. So if you guys need help removing all your late payments, all of your collections, all of your negative remarks on your credit score, is usually $997. But if you're on this call today, it will be $897. If you only need credit inquiries removed, even if you have 20 credit inquiries, you're gonna get $100 off. And instead of being $397, it'll be $297. So $300 to remove all your inquiries and maybe get a 2.75 home mortgage. Definitely worth it. You're paying $300 and you're saving tens of thousands of dollars in that 30-year home mortgage. So once again, Austin, thank you so much for being in this call. And hopefully people will reach out to you to be in your close friends, and will reach out to us to be part of the Credit Wipe members. Close friends. So how can they follow you on Instagram? What's your Instagram name?
It's Leverage Pro is the IG
All right, I'll
handle.
type it in.
Yeah.
So Leverage Pro is the @ you guys can follow him. You guys can join. You say you're gonna give a $300 off for your close friends. That's a deal. Yeah.
Appreciate it.
There's so much info. Just so you guys know, people who join his close friends make 10x whatever he put in, just because all of the hacks and all of the crypto stock options calls that he talks about there.
It all starts with credit. All starts with credit.
It all starts with credit. Yeah. Thank you. If you guys found this call super valuable, just give us a shout out on IG. We're going to stay behind another 10 more minutes to answer any Q&As that you guys have. Feel free to unmute yourself. Austin, brother, you're good to go. Hopefully I get to see you again before we leave Vegas.
Yeah, thanks for having me. Appreciate you guys.
All right. Thank you, Austin. Have a good night. Yeah, I'm going to add Austin's IG here. Give me,
Leverage Pro.
Okay,
At Leverage
there
Pro.
you go.
Already got it.
It's already there.
Answer any questions if they have.
Cool. Any questions? Any preguntas?
Should we say through his hacks we were able to stay for free?
Yeah,
For
tell-
free.
Wait, what?
Should we say that we were able to stay here for free?
Oh, yeah.
Gyms for free, everything for free.
So we're hanging out with Austin. He got us these rooms. We got 2 rooms for free
for the whole week.
for the whole weekend. He gets comped, so he gets free rooms year round here in Vegas. And he also gets promos that you can have 2 people flying into Vegas, all paid for, including hotels, because he knows all these hacks where you get so many points on gambling, but you're not really gambling. So, and we're lucky enough to have him in our team of mycreditwipe.com. So he's a beast. And like I said before, I paid a lot of money to be in the mastermind where he was at, and to be on his like close friends mastermind, it's also a lot of money involved. Yeah, that's his close friends. When's the next e-commerce class? That is gonna start March 23rd. That's the date, March 23rd.
We can only take 29 people.
We are only taking 29. It looks like someone's already on. So only 29. Well, 2 teams, 15 each. 1 of 14, 1 of 15. Yeah.
I would reserve a spot. Here, tell them.
Go to az-dropshipping/waiting list.
Okay, we're gonna put here the.
People just want e-com.
I know people don't care about it. Credit. That's
But they
gonna
need
be.
credit for e-com and Walmart is what they don't understand. That's what.
That's the wait list. Leg room. Oh yeah, Gerardo. Yeah, so I fly for free. It's a simple hack, but it works. I usually fly around $60,000 worth of tickets a year, and I pay less than $5,000. That is reserved for my team coaching on the e-commerce. Like Austin said, I cannot give out all my hacks here for free, but yeah, free flying for free, hotels for like half off, a ton of points and stuff like that.
Blackburn asked a question.
Blackburn. How long does it take to fix bad credit? So usually it takes about 60 days because the bureaus have 30-day period to reply to your letters. But with COVID, they extended that time, and it can take from 90 to 120 days. So it can be 4 or 5 months to get the credit repair done just because of COVID. His close friends is only Instagram post. It's not a mastermind. It's not a weekly call. It's only the post that he's got on his highlights. How much you guys take care of, and how much would I be responsible for? For credit,
We do it all.
we do it all. You sign up with Identity IQ. If you guys don't have an Identity IQ, if you guys don't know how your credit score is, you can sign up with our link, and it's only $1. Yeah. Felipe and Diego are gonna post the affiliate link for only $1. You guys can find out exactly how much, what we do have it.
Do we have it?
Just reach out to us and we'll give you the code for $1.
Felipe's gonna,
The number's already in
the
chat.
number,
It's in chat.
Oh yeah, just message Felipe. You'll take
So-
care of that.
on that chat, guys, where is it, Felipe? Did
It's
you
already
just
in
post it?
chat. I posted it a couple times already.
Post it again so that we can have it. So guys, on that, the number that Felipe is gonna put in there, just type in the word, what is it?
Credit.
Yeah, just type in credit in there and we will be in touch with you. We're gonna send you a couple of links so that you can sign up for not Mile IQ, what is it? Identity IQ, to be able to get your credit information
Yeah, credit
for
score.
$1,
It's-
your credit score.
It's better than Credit Karma. Credit Karma is available. It's a free app, but it's not very accurate and it doesn't show all the bureaus. So my Identity IQ shows all your latest payoff accounts or reports that you guys have, and it's only $1 with our affiliate link.
Type the word
Besides paying off credit cards off monthly, you can get authorized users, and you can also request your limit increase to go higher, which is going to lower your utilization less than 30%. So you can do that. Cool. All right. Any more questions?
I'm gonna say the power of
Diego?
credit. Well, like
Oh yeah, go ahead.
one of the things that is super cool with the power of credit too is that, for example, this year, well, last year I bought a Tesla and I was able to get the Tesla through my business credit, and that way it's just in my S corp. I am the guarantor, so my credit I did have to get a hard pull, but it doesn't show in my DTI. So basically, it's sort of like my company takes care of the payments, and that's it. The bank wouldn't know that the monthly payment comes out from my pocket from that perspective. So that is the power of using credit.
I got a Tesla too. And my company's paying for it too. So it's like a free car. Felipe didn't want to get one. I don't know why. He was the one who talked us to get a Tesla, but he didn't get one.
Yeah.
Brad put out that division.
Yeah.
No,
Brad-
20% at 1 to remove 1.
What is it?
I said Brad put out that 297.
297 to remove. If they pay, they remove the credit inquiries.
Yeah, but not all of them. It's just 1.
No, dude, it's everything.
Okay.
Felipe says, yeah, it's all of for hard inquiries. Brad, if you go to my credit wipe, anybody that basically signs up for anything right now, there's 2 programs. One is $997 and the other one is $397 or something.
We're going to give the discount.
We will give you the discount later because we didn't set that up right now yet.
Tell us just was out there.
But yeah, we will sell it to you guys. I mean, everybody here, you guys have our contact information through IG, so we will make sure that we get that to you. And yeah, guys, we are here to help. At the end of the day, having a good credit helps you be able to not pay as much money on interest, which can save you thousands in the future, and it allows you to keep your DTI level down and continue to buy more properties with real estate. So use it as a leverage from that perspective. It gets you to have less interest rates so that you can borrow as much as good debt as possible. And then have other people pay for that good debt. So it's good.
Yeah, and also I'm sure Luis, you got this, brother. But if you guys are military, make sure you guys call all these credit card companies and apply for the Service Member Relief Act. It drops your interest rate on most credit cards to 4%. You got 6, I got 4%. So just real quick here, I'm gonna stop recording.
I'm gonna stop recording.
Because you're Air Force.